Hello everyone. So in this video we're going to look at building the Atom Virtual PhET Lab. PhET is a simulation that is done through the University of Colorado, and so it's a virtual lab where you can kind of move protons, electrons, and neutrons and kind of play with it. And I hope you guys got a chance to play with that. But if you haven't completed this, please just watch this video and I'll go through how to do the lab. So you click on this link to get started. This is the Google Doc, and this is what it looks like. So we need to put our first and last name. We need to pick our class period. Okay, then we're going to go to this website and basically play with it. And I've shown you guys a video already where I go through and add protons and neutrons and electrons and change all this kind of stuff, see if it's stable or not. I showed you guys the symbol in the game. But in this video, I'm just going to focus on the lab. Make sure you guys can get the answers here. So as you explore the simulation, list two things that you observe. Well, the protons and neutrons can only go in the nucleus. And that's where they live. Electrons can only go in the shells. That's where they live. Okay. What two particles are found in the center of the atom? Protons and neutrons. Okay. What are the charges of the two particles at the center of the atom? Protons are positive and neutrons have no charge. Right? Protons start with P, positive starts with P. Positive protons, neutral neutrons, no charge. All right, play and explore the simulation until you discover what particles determines the name of the element. What did you discover? Well, protons determines the name of the element, and we should know that. What is the name of the following atom? An atom with 3 protons and 4 neutrons. So if we look on our periodic table, lithium is the element with atomic number 3 for 3 protons. So I'm going to put lithium here. And then it's got 3 protons, 4 neutrons. So if we add those together, 3 plus 4 is 7. So I'm going to call this lithium 7 or lithium or Li-7. So you can write it with the name or the symbol for the element. And the 7 there is the mass number. So that's the total mass of that atom. And so we can name that atom with this notation. This is called isotopic notation. So this is an isotope of lithium with a mass number of 7. 3 protons, 4 neutrons. What is the name of the following atom? An atom with 2 protons and 4 neutrons. Okay, we look on the periodic table. Atomic number 2 for 2 protons is helium. I'm going to put helium, and then I'm going to put dash 6. 2 protons plus 4 neutrons makes 6 total particles in the nucleus. So helium 6 or He-6. And you can put either one of those either one of these for the answer. You don't have to put both. What is the name of the following atom? An atom with 4 protons and 4 neutrons. Okay, element number 4 is beryllium. And if it's got 4 protons and 4 neutrons, you add those up, and that'll give you your mass number. So that's 8. Beryllium 8. Okay, play and explore the simulation to discover which particles affect the charge of an atom or ion. Neutral atoms have the same number of protons and electrons. Okay? Because they have to balance out. It's like a tug of war, positive and negative. Play and explore the simulation to discover which particles affects the charge of an atom or ion. Positive ions have greater number of protons than electrons. Well, since protons are positive, if you have more of them, then you have a positive charge. Okay, because they're winning the battle. Okay, it's positive protons are going to fight against the negative electrons. Whichever one wins gets the charge. Positive or negative overall charge. Play and explore the simulation to discover which particles affect the charge of an atom or ion. Negative ions have fewer number of protons and electrons. So if it's a negative ion, that means it must have more electrons and less protons, because electrons are negative. Develop a relationship in the form of a single sentence or equation that can predict the charge based on the number of types of particles. So we can say charge equals protons, number of protons minus number of electrons, or charge is equal to number of electrons minus number of protons. Basically, it's the difference between those two, and it's, whichever one wins is going to be first. So you can say number of protons minus electrons, or you can say opposite if you have more electrons. But you find the difference between those two, and you get the charge. Okay? Play and explore the simulation to discover what affects the mass number of your atom or ion. Protons and neutrons. They're both in the nucleus, so they're both going to affect the mass, and they both have mass. Electrons don't. What is a rule for determining the mass number of an atom? How can we determine the mass number of an atom? Protons plus neutrons, or add up the mass of the nucleus. Okay, so something along those lines would be our answer. What do all oxygen atoms have in common? Well, they're all oxygen because they have 8 protons. It's element number 8. How many different uncharged, neutral, stable hydrogen atoms can you build? Okay, so I tried this, and I can make hydrogen 1, hydrogen 2, and that's it. Describe the similarities. They both have 1 proton because they're hydrogen, element number 1, but different number of neutrons. All right, hydrogen 1 has no neutrons, 0. Hydrogen 2 has 1. Okay. Using the symbol readout box, figure out which particles affect each component in the nuclear symbol. In the atomic symbol pictured below, identify what the letter A stands for. So A here is the symbol for the element. That's what that's supposed to represent. That's what goes in the middle there. Okay. Using the symbol readout box, figure out which particles affect the components. Identify what B stands for. So B is up here is the charge. Okay. So it's an exponent and it's to the right. Okay. So that'll be a +1, -1, +2, -2, so on. Now, if it doesn't have a charge, then we usually don't put anything up there. We're not going to put a 0 up there. So if it doesn't have a charge, we don't have to indicate it. Okay. Which 2 particles affect the value of B? It tells you right there, protons and electrons. Those 2 are the charged particles in an atom, and so they both affect the charge. Neutrons do not. They have no charge, so they don't impact the charge. Identify what C stands for. C is the atomic number. It's the number of protons. All right, and so what particle affects the value of C? Right there, protons. Protons. Okay. Using the symbol readout box, identify what D stands for. D is the mass number. Protons plus neutrons. Okay. And so protons and neutrons would impact the value of D. Okay, so that's that one there. Build an atom with 1 proton and 1 electron. This is a hydrogen atom. Next, build another atom with 1 proton and 1 neutron. This is also a hydrogen atom. These 2 atoms are isotopes of hydrogen. Build an atom with 1 proton and 1 electron. This is a hydrogen atom. Next, build another atom with 1 proton and no electrons. This is also a hydrogen atom. The second atom has a charge and therefore is called an ion. I-O-N. Last one. Build an atom with 1 proton and 1 electron. Build another atom with 1 proton and 1 neutron. These are elements. Both of these atoms have 1 proton and are therefore the same element. So remember, number of protons determines the element. Number of protons versus electrons, and the movement of electrons makes an atom charged. And then the movement of neutrons makes an atom become an isotope, or different isotopes of an element. All right, then hit submit. And then you might want to make sure that you let me know when you've completed this, because this was kind of old. I mean, we did this, Friday in October? We did it Friday, October the 23rd, so it's almost been a month since we've done this. So let me know when you've completed this, and I will go and look for it. When you guys submit a Google form, I get a list. So let me show you that list. So if I look at my responses, I've got some data here, but then I've got a nice spreadsheet. And so what I'll do is I'll just go and look for your name. All right, so let me know if you get this done, and I will be happy to grade it. And that'll certainly help your grade because this is a test grade. All right, thank you guys for watching.